Somewhere beneath the Atlantic, engineers are sketching a road. Not a bridge, not a ferry route, a tunnel bored through the seabed, connecting the northern tip of Africa to the southern coast of Europe. The projected cost for this Morocco-Portugal corridor stands at more than 800 million euros. A separate but related tunnel linking Morocco to Spain carries estimates between 15 and 20 billion euros. Together, these two projects represent the most ambitious cross-continental infrastructure push between Africa and Europe in modern history. This video will walk through what is actually being proposed, what remains unverified, who stands to gain, and what changes for trade, for geopolitics, and for the balance of connectivity between two continents, if either project moves from blueprint to construction. Start with why this is happening now. Global shipping has faced compounding disruptions over the past several years. The Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most critical maritime choke points, has seen repeated tension. Shipping lanes through the Red Sea have been affected by regional conflict. Supply chain planners across Africa and Europe have been forced to reassess which routes they can actually rely on. In that context, the idea of fixed, land-based infrastructure connecting Africa directly to Europe, infrastructure that does not depend on open sea lanes, port availability, or naval security, has gained traction in ways it had not before. The Morocco-Portugal project, as currently reported, would connect Morocco's high-capacity road network north of Tangier to Portugal's Algarve region and its A22 motorway. The design involves a dual-bore tunnel with separate lanes for each direction of traffic, a central emergency corridor, ventilation systems combining longitudinal extraction with pressurized control points, and shelters integrated into the structure at intervals. Construction methodology under review includes prefabricated submerged tunnel sections and tunnel boring machines adapted to seabed pressure and the specific geological conditions of that stretch of the Atlantic floor. Engineers involved in the early planning have described it as a modular project, meaning construction would proceed in phases without disrupting regional traffic on either side, coordinated through a joint consortium operating under unified standards for safety, interoperability, and environmental sustainability. Those are the outlines. The important caveat is that significant elements of this proposal remain unverified. The project was first reported by a Portuguese outlet and subsequently cited by Morocco World News. A major Moroccan news organization stated publicly that it could not independently confirm the details and sought clarification from the Portuguese government, which had not responded at time of reporting. There is no official confirmation from either the Moroccan or Portuguese governments. Final cost figures are expected to shift depending on seismic risk assessments and seabed geology surveys, neither of which has been publicly released. The 800 million euro figure is a current estimate, not a finalized budget. That uncertainty matters, but it does not make the project insignificant. Proposals of this scale routinely spend years in the preliminary and verification phase before official confirmation. What the reporting does confirm is that the corridor is under active technical consideration, that engineers are working through design and safety frameworks, and that the strategic logic behind it is being taken seriously in planning circles on both sides. The Morocco-Portugal corridor does not exist in isolation. Running parallel to it is the longer-discussed Morocco-Spain subsea rail tunnel, a project with a more developed history and considerably larger price tag. That corridor would span approximately 42 kilometers in total, with roughly 27 kilometers running underwater. It would connect Punta Paloma on the Spanish side to Cape Malabata near Tangier on the Moroccan side. Spain's projected share of the cost alone exceeds 8.5 billion euros, out of a total estimate between 15 and 20 billion. The tunnel is designed to carry both passenger and freight traffic, and completion would reduce travel time between the two continents to approximately 30 minutes. That project has been under discussion for decades. What is notable in 2025 is that it is regaining active momentum at the same time as the Portugal Corridor is being floated, suggesting a broader infrastructure conversation is underway, not a series of isolated proposals. Consider the first scenario. Both projects advance through official confirmation, funding agreements, and into construction. The Morocco-Spain tunnel, even if it takes 15 to 20 years to complete given its scale, creates a fixed freight and passenger link between Africa and the Iberian Peninsula. The Morocco-Portugal highway corridor, cheaper and structurally simpler, comes online sooner. Together, they create a redundant, multi-point land connection between the two continents. Moroccan goods, agricultural products, phosphates, manufactured components reach European markets without dependence on maritime routing. European goods move south. Tangier, already a significant logistics hub, becomes the anchor of a new continental corridor. The economic geography of the Western Mediterranean shifts materially. Now consider the second scenario. The Portugal corridor stalls in the verification gap. Governments decline to officially confirm or fund it. The seismic and geological surveys reveal costs significantly above the €800 million estimate. The modular construction framework fails to attract a viable consortium. The project remains in the category of ambitious proposal rather than active infrastructure. In that case, the Morocco-Spain tunnel carries the full weight of the connectivity argument, and its 15 to 20 billion euro price tag makes it dependent on sustained political will from both Madrid and Rabat over a multi-decade timeline across multiple governments on each side. That is a fragile basis for any infrastructure project. The strategic context behind both proposals is the same. African governments and investors are actively seeking transport corridors that are more resilient and diversified than the current maritime-dependent system. Disruptions at the Strait of Hormuz, the Red Sea, and other key choke points have made the vulnerability of that system visible in a way that is difficult to ignore at the planning level. Fixed infrastructure does not solve geopolitical risk, it relocates it, but it does reduce dependence on open water routes that are outside any single government's control. What to watch going forward? Whether the Portuguese government issues any official response to the Morocco-Portugal corridor reporting, whether Morocco releases seabed survey data that would make cost estimates more precise, and whether the Morocco-Spain tunnel moves from renewed discussion into any formal bilateral agreement with attached timelines and funding commitments. Infrastructure at this scale is built slowly, announced cautiously, and shaped by political cycles that can interrupt momentum at any stage. The engineering may be feasible. The financing and political coordination are the variables that will determine whether either of these corridors become concrete.